What is this music? What are you guys listening to? This is what I played for the for my American friends yesterday while they were waiting. This is what they got. YouTube doesn't let you play like fun music because it's all copyrighted, and they get mad at you and shut you down and send threats and things. So they give you this list of free music that you can play, which is what we're listening to. This is called If I Had a Chicken. Alright, enough of that. Let's turn that off. Hang on, how do I turn this off? Uh-oh. What have I done? What have I done? There we go. That was close. That was close. Okay, let's see if we can get this running. Go like that. Oh, all I see is a black screen. Hang on. You'd think that I knew how to do this, but it's me after all. Oh, can we see it? We good? We good? Hey, I think we've got it. Hey, everybody. How we doing? Hello to my brothers across the giant ocean. So happy to be with you. Way better than those Yanks from yesterday. How do I mildly insult my fellow Americans? What do you guys call it? What's a good European mild insult for Americans? That's what they are. That's what we're going to use. Jasper K. Moore, look for a Spotify playlist called Stream Beats All Cop. Oh, excellent. Okay, I will do that. Where's my little cell phone? I'm going to take a picture of that because I don't know how technology works. So I'm going to do it with a camera so that I can look at that later. Thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it. Good to be with you all. And this, I guess for you guys, it's Saturday evening. It's about 10 a.m. my time. So, Slaviksny, sup? I apologize for butchering that. I'm stalling while I pull up my checklists because I still don't know how to run my own reactor and I use my own checklist. Speaking of which, if you want to follow along, in the description, you will find a link for my checklist that I'm going to be following for the startup. And you'll also find a link for my Discord where you can come and get Nuclear's help, talk about, I don't know, airplanes, other games, food, books, movies, things like that. And, or just, I don't know, chit chat, whatever. I also have a Patreon, trying to, maybe one day get enough money to get a computer that's less than 12 years old that could, you know, have graphics like you all see. I see you guys post screenshots. Whoa, in the Discord, and it makes me jealous. Makes me jealous, I tell you. Trying to get everything set up here. One would have thought I would have done this beforehand, but hey, you know what? Here we are. Welcome. Here's what's on the agenda for today. We are going to do a startup. I'm going to run through my checklist and show you my method of a startup using the new condenser. We will meet demand. I'll show you guys how I set up the vacuum so that it runs without the vacuum pump. It sustains it, and then we'll do a shutdown, show you how that works, and hopefully, if everything goes right, no fireworks today. Normally I end my streams with fireworks. Today is like an airplane ride. You don't want fireworks at the end, right? The beginning bit and the last bit are really where you don't want things to get exciting. And that's what we're hoping for today. Yes, 12 years old. I believe I purchased one of my monitors that I have hooked up is from 2006. It's a 4:3 ratio. My graphics card only has 3 digits. That's how old a model it is. It's a NVIDIA GeForce. I forget what it is. And yeah, so it's a little old. It's on its last leg, but you know what? It's gotten me this far. But I am trying to, if anybody feels so inclined to join the Patreon, toss a Witcher a little coin And hopefully I can save up enough to get a new PC one of these days. They're expensive now, don't you know? So, okay, I am looking for... I lost my checklist. Hold on. Where'd it go? Checklist? Nope. Checklist. There we are. All right, so here we go. Without further ado, let's get into it. I've been rambling long enough. So, activate number 1. Activate all terminals. That's easy. External power on, manual generators, manual and off. A disclaimer about this. This startup is on apprentice. No, sorry. The difficulty level matters. This is on normal mode. Okay, normal difficulty. Easy and apprentice, the developer has built in that the calculations are different. So this will not work the same way. This whole bit that I'm about to do will not work the same on apprentice and easy. I haven't tested those yet. I haven't tried them. So it's only on normal mode. The difference in a short sentence is with easy and apprentice mode, the condensation is instant. Steam back to water, instant. Through normal mode, it's a process. It takes time, temperature matters, and things like that. So things will react a little bit differently if you're not in normal mode. This is all, like I said, full first startup. Plant's ready to go. We have not done a startup yet. This is not a restart. All those things will make it a little different. So let's keep going. Oh, I guess I could have done that while I was jib-jabbing. Thermostat on, heaters on. We're going to go triple speed just to speed that up. The next one, bypass, we're going to set to 100. And I'll explain a little bit about what I'm doing as we go on. Whoops, resistor banks on. Don't forget that, very important. MSCV set to 6. This is new to my checklist. And again, more on that later as we go on. We'll have plenty of time to talk. We're going to sit around and do a lot of waiting. You guys are going to get sick of hearing me. The SIMZ set to 100 and the OMZ set to 100. I have declared these names SIMZ, S-M-S-I, SIMZ valve, and OMZ valve, O-M-S-I. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, which is the northwest corner of the United States. And there was there's a state, you have California, Nevada, a state called Oregon. And Oregon has the Oregon Museum of Science. I don't know what the I stands for. It was OMSI, and they pronounced it OMSI, so that's where I stole it from. OMSI, which then by association made this SIMZ. It's just missing an I. Pretend there's an I in there. SIMZ and OMSI. And it's kind of caught on. Some of the developers are using that now, so that's kind of how we refer to it. Anyway, enough on that. So we're waiting for this to... Oh, we're already there. 140 because I was talking too long. Let's keep it going. Plant operation mode normal.
New operating mode established.
Load that fuel. And primary pump, let's see, set to on. I got distracted. I was looking at something else. Set this to 15. Which is also kind of new. That's how I used to do it. And then there were changes to the steam generator and the calculations, and 15 caused the steam gen bug that I talk about so often. But now it's gone back and it's not an issue. So then the condenser on. Another note about the condenser, it used to be we wanted our temperatures close to 100. Whoa, as we could get it. That is no longer the case. Now we need it as cold as possible. With a new setup, the way that it works, you want your condenser temperature as cold as you can get it. Now we're ready to go. So without further ado, let's pop this guy at 93.3. The exact amount or setting that will get us to 300. We'll come out at 300 degrees here, which is what I like. Not too high, not too low. That's just mine. It's personal preference. Oh, go triple speed. And now we're waiting. And I'll explain after the animation. Never touch a running system. Yeah.
And its status has changed to reactive.
Okay, so what we're doing now is we're waiting. So explaining a couple things. First, we open our bypass to 100. Before I did not do this. Before the condenser changes in my old system, the old setup pre 191, my startup method, I would close the bypass to 0 because I wanted all of the steam that was generated to head straight to the turbines. I also started with my MSCV closed instead of having it open at all. Now what we have is we need to insert, I'm going to slow this down so I can talk. We're inserting a step into the process. Before, it used to be, okay, just set everything where you want it, start the heat happening here at the reactor core, use the primary to send that heat down to the steam generator, and then I closed my MSCV so that, and I built up kind of a store of steam, a collection. Got it up to 60 bar, and then I opened it and dumped it suddenly onto the turbines with enough force that it would start up and kick on, and away we went. Well, now we're inserting a step in there. Instead of going create heat, send heat, send steam to turbine, we got to fill up this guy, our retention tank, because we need a vacuum now. What this vacuum does is it pulls the steam from the turbines back down to the condenser. It used to be that it just went really nicely and smoothly. That's no longer the case. It needs help, and that's what that's the whole purpose of the vacuum pump system. Well, in order to do that, and as we do switchovers, the vacuum pump needs steam and water and other things to operate. You can't run it dry. It's kind of like a pump. Sorry for the herky-jerky mouse movements. I'm still trying to figure out my mouse pad thing. It's tilted. More on that later, another day. Anyway, so we need something in here for the vacuum pump to work, and that's what we're doing now. So by bypassing it, any steam that's generated, which exits out the MSCV, is going around our turbines, and it comes back in here by way of the SIMZ. So if I was looking at this diagram, I would kind of almost draw a line here. No, I guess this is accurate. The thing I'm thinking of is later. So that comes into the SIMZ. The OMZ is what takes the steam from the turbines once it's headed there and brings it back to, also back to the retention tank. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But, have I gone too far? Oh, I did. Okay, well, look at me talking, yik-yakking. What that means, all that means is that, I'm trying to go to my checklist. All that means, make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. Let's see, love head, good. 25 pump on, set to 25, good. My level will just be a little bit lower, but I can compensate for that. So if you miss your mark, 25,000 is arbitrary. Actually, I'm going to speed that up a little higher so we can refill it faster. That's just what I like. 25,000, I kick it on, and I know that it's going to drop about another 10,000, and I will operate around 15,000 liters in my steam gen. That's from previously. Someone asked me last night, or I guess last night for you guys in my other stream 12 hours ago. They said, so why 25? Why not 20? Why not 30? Why not 15? Why not 35? And why do you like running at 15? Why there? And my answer was because that's just what I'm used to. With my startup method prior to all these changes, that's just where my steam generator level ended up. And I learned how it reacts with the rest of the system. I can predict pressures, I can predict other components and how they would react because of where that level was. You got to remember that there's a bit of headspace in the steam generator, right? This is the steam generator here. I gotta make sure I'm not. Okay, we are filling our retention tank. It'll take a little while, so I'm okay to talk for now. That's the next step that we're waiting for. This is our vessel here, right? Our steam generator vessel, and there's water inside of this thing, right? Up to a certain point. Well, whatever the fill level is, right? It'll go higher, it'll go lower, and then as it boils off, it gets sent off, and the water level drops or rises based on what as indicated here. So right now it's a little, I guess it's, I don't know, it's at 18,000, whatever that means. Ooh, which I don't need, so we'll go back to 25 now. So however, and then so the opposite of that, whatever the water level's at, well, that's how much headspace or open space you have for steam. If that open space where steam can sit and wait inside the steam generator is large, it can hold more, and your pressure will rise more slowly. If it's very small, because you've got water here, well, you can crank up that temperature at a quick rate, and it means the changes are going to be more dramatic, either way, up or down. And so it's just personal preference. And my personal preference is I really like operating kind of low yellow to maybe mid yellow, high yellow. I like operating here. I start getting itchy if I'm in the green, or if I drop below, I don't know what that is, about 10,000. It makes me a little anxious. And this is not okay. So this is not going to turn out like it should, but that's okay. Why am I not? Interesting. Is it just the heat? Am I not there yet? Or have I done something? No, it's still... Something's going on. Why aren't you getting hot enough? 15. Have I mucked something up here? Let's see. Bypass resistor. Well, okay. Yeah, this is not getting warm like it should. This is the first time ever that has not gotten up to 300. It's really interesting. And it's causing this to be lower. Huh. Okay. I don't know why. I'll have to go back and watch. I mean, it could have been because I let this... And see, this is not normally this high either. And that's because of the lack of heat, which this is what keyed me up to it. Normally, when I run this, it goes up to 58, and then it drops back down to about 54. But seeing that is what told me that I'm running cooler than normal, and I don't know why. That's quite strange. Making me think I missed a step somewhere. Okay, so we'll put this back to 0.3 now. That's about where I want it. This should start, yeah, we're above 50 now, so it should start climbing. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. So where I'm at on my checklist, if you're following along right now, is in between numbers 16 and 17. Right now, all the steam we're generating is not doing anything other than filling this retention tank here, which we see by a percentage. It doesn't really give us an amount. I tried calculating it. I thought that it's 40,000 liters, the whole thing, but now I don't think that anymore. So, yeah, it's just kind of a waiting game. Normally I'd be going triple speed, but I want to go a little slower. And that is going fast. Huh. This whole thing is acting very differently. See, so when I'm not in my zone, when I missed it, by what, 3,000 liters, and it's kind of thrown my whole game off a little bit. Like, not like physical game, my metaphorical game has been thrown off. So you're getting to see me do this on the fly and try and figure out what's going on. Let me get my checklist back up so that I'm not. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, this is rocketing up. So as soon as it does that, I'm going to turn on the vacuum pump and set my bypass to 0. And we're going to, oh, there it is. So we'll go on. I let this get a little full. We're going to switch my bypass now to 0. We're switching over now because my tank is full. You should see it start dropping, which it is. And so now what we're doing is, I'm going to pause it real quick while I explain this. If you've ever seen any of my previous videos where I use the analogy of blowing on a fan, that's what we're doing. We're sending steam down to the turbine, which is a fan or a pinwheel. The bypass is, it blades some of that steam off. Imagine you have a pipe, right? Or a line of people, right? In this pipe, we're going down, our lane, and then all of a sudden there's a branch that goes off to the left. And that bypass is the gate to that branch. The more open bypass you have, the less you have going down the main branch toward the turbines, and it starts shunting it away off to the side. And that's what we've been doing, is taking 100%. Now we're starting to switch it back. Well, as we switch it back, that's where these guys come in. The startup, the SimZ, this is how much of the steam going through the bypass we're having come back to our retention tank. This is how much from the turbines. Well, since I'm starting to send steam from the bypass to the actual turbine, in a minute, once the steam actually reaches it, we're going to see this torque start to increase. Remember that the pipes, the lengths of pipe and diameter and everything actually plays into the calculations here in nuclear arrest. So it'll take a minute for my torque to start up. And that's why I have both of these at 100. It doesn't necessarily hurt anything to have them both at 100. It just means that I'm not wasting any of my steam. Either it's going back into the retention tank via the bypass, or it's coming back from the turbine. And should be getting something soon. Should be hearing it kick on soon. Have I? There it goes. Starting to weird me out, man. Thinking I'm completely off my rocker here. Okay, let me move down on my checklist. So I'm at 18. Oh, are we at 0.1? Oh, yeah, we are. That should have been done a while ago. I wasn't even watching it. So now I'm at number 19 operational mode. That should have been switched over much earlier. And now the once this gets to 0, we can close the SIMSI because it's basically useless. It won't affect anything. You can bypass the turbines all you want. It's not dependent on the SIMSI. The SIMSI, however, is dependent on the bypass. You can have no steam coming through the SIMSI if your bypass is at 0. And that's where I was going to say I wish or we should draw... no, that's kind of the OMSI. For the OMSI... the bypass would go kind of like from here. If we could draw a line, this is incomplete, but the bypass would go from here kind of around this way and touch here and then come back to the condenser, because this is our SIMSI. So if we have our SIMSI closed, then all that steam comes back here and it prioritizes here over going that way. If we open it, then some of it will come through this way through all this mess and then back to the condenser. If we open it to 100, in theory, all of it should be going through there. It's not, and that's okay. And I need to request start from the city before I forget. And that's all right. So what's happening now is we are all the steam is now going to the turbine through the OMSI. It's all coming back to the vacuum pump, and this is going to slowly increase. I should check my temperature, make sure we haven't fallen. Just a teeny bit. We'll adjust by 1. So this is that 300 I was looking for. I don't know why it stopped early. I'll have to go back and watch it. I'm kind of perplexed by that. So this is why I like having the 100. The tutorial tells you to stop it at 30. And if I do that, let's see what happens. Well, okay, so see how we're climbing by 0.02, give or take? If I close this to 30... I'm going to wait till it actually gets there and show you. Come on, Valve. Stop for a drink. I got a cold... Did you hear that? Cold carbonated beverage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's what the body needs. Don't forget... save often, hydrate more oftener. So this is at 30. Now look what happens. It freezes. Doesn't move. It just freezes where it's at. I'll talk about the CFR later. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you wanted to get back up to 50, that's why I have it at 100. So that's why I preset mine to 100. It doesn't have to be all the way to 100. I haven't tested the point at which it actually kind of cuts off, but as you see as I open it, this is refilling. So that's the only reason why I do that, and then when it gets to 50, I shut it off again. So now we're in the waiting game. Speed this up a little bit. We're just waiting for our turbine to start up. That's it. We're here. I started with chemicals? That's why. Did I seriously click chemicals on? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna finish this stuff. I meant to not do this with chemicals because it's just more running around and less time for me to talk and focus. That is exactly why this didn't get to 300. And I'm not going to do it now. I will cheat in a little bit. But now we're just waiting for the startup. If I wanted to recover this, I would just start increasing boron before the 7-hour mark where my xenon actually kicks in. This should have been a dead giveaway to me. There's my situational awareness for you, or lack thereof. So, anyway, so this is like we said, ticking back up. I'm waiting for it to get to 50, and then I will drop this down to 30 and just leave it alone. On the startup, I am between 20 and 21, waiting for that 49.75 to hit. And meanwhile, we just wait for this to start up. We connect to the city, and we're kind of good to go. So while I'm waiting, I guess I could... oh, yes. You like my warp speed sinker scope? It's got a good beat. Was that about 300 beats per minute? Yeah, okay. That's annoying. Let's get back to see if anybody in the chat... I do, yes, Jasper Bear. See, I should have been reading the comments. I do have chemicals on, but I did not intend to. As you can see, the startup doesn't really matter. What I would have done for chemicals is the chemical portion really only pertains to over here. So I would have just added chemicals and just had to keep running back and watching it and pulling rods and watching my boron dosing to keep my temperature where I want it. Temperature control is going to be a little more difficult, but that's not a huge deal. Really all I'm waiting for is this to get to 49.75. I will close it down, and then well, no, I'll finish the startup, and then I have a saved game from last night where I'm going to actually it's my testing branch where it comes out normal without chemicals, and we'll do that to finish out the night. So yeah, this is why I'm having to adjust this so much to get it back up to 300. Oh, now it's going. Now I've poked the bear. Is that going to do it? A little too much? A little too much. Okay. Oh, we're there. Oh, we're there, which means, are you there also? You're not there yet. That's interesting. Okay, so we will mash this guy. +1. Stop it there. Make sure we're in sync, and then close. Always look for that green box. It will save you. This is a little higher than what I would have expected, but now that we're there, I bring this back to 5. Actually, no, I'm not going to bring it back to 5 yet. It's helping the... Actually, yes, it will. The reason why I have this at 6 instead of 5, I did a bunch of test runs, just back-to-back, starting up over and over and over, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30 times, and found that the fastest, the shortest time, when I'm not talking and babbling and making mistakes, for this to start up was with this at 6 instead of 5. Now, the game, the tutorial, is actually faster. It has you open this to 100, and this is at 50, and that guy's at 50. Everything's just wide open, and you're just flinging steam. But the problem with that is when you come out of apprentice mode startup, you have a lot of changes to make to get to an effective point or an efficient point, and to where you can meet demand easily by going up and down. But mine doesn't. Mine, we come out balanced. I'll show you this in just a second. Actually, I can show you right now. Look at that. We come out balanced. The middle one will go up and down. It'll bounce up and down. It just does that kind of like... It'll bounce less and less if you were to just leave it, and eventually it'll just settle. But it's stable. We're doing 20 megawatts. We're stable here. This guy is not, and more on that later. But see, the reason why I leave that at 6 is so that climbs faster. It just throws off the balance here, which isn't the end of the world. Yeah, for brevity's sake, I'll wait. But we're good everywhere else. And now we could adjust to meet demand up and down, which we will do. I'm just going to load a different save without chemicals to demonstrate that, so I don't have to keep playing with the temperature. So what would normally happen is, let's just pretend that this is 79 or 49.75. I would take this, I'd run it down to 30. Speed up time to get there faster. and it would freeze. And now it's not going up or down. And now we just run. There we are. We meet demand. We don't have to really touch this anymore. You could leave it as is, and away we go. So there you go. Questions on the startup process? Sorry that was a little herky-jerky. It was the chemicals. Blame the chemicals. But we're cruising right along. Okay, here's what I'll show you. Before we go to the next one, I will show you a shutdown from this point. Let's say we wanted to do a shutdown right now. Here's how I do this. This, in the real world, one would think that the water circulating around the core is pretty important for cooling. In Nuclearis, it's not. Welcome to the black magic physics that is Nuclearis. It's getting hot in here. I'm turning the fan on. So below 35 setting here, your primary does almost no cooling. 35 to 50, it does a little, actually 35 to 49, it does a little bit of cooling. And then at 50 and above, it does noticeable cooling. So below 50, really, all this does is take the heat from there down to the steam generator to make steam. So you don't even need it to cool it off. So let me show you how I do this. Now this is kind of a trick, right? It's using the game mechanics as opposed to what would make sense conceptually. So to start this shutdown, I go 100 here. And that's going to start this cooling. Oh, go shutdown mode, because this is how you skip all the alarms. Otherwise, when I send my primary to 0, it's going to say, what are you doing? I open this so that I don't damage my turbine. Start my bypass at 100. I don't have a good checklist for this yet. And stop the heat coming in. So what we're doing right now, I'm going to pause, is, well, several things at once. Let me back up so you can get a good field of view. Is we have our, on the left, our reactor core. We've inserted rods to start the core cooling down. We've shut our coolant, our PCP, our primary coolant pump, off to stop sending heat to the steam generator. Because without heat, that's what's going to make it cool off. We have opened our bypass to 100 to start spinning down the turbines. And we can do all these things kind of in steps. The first step I would do is open up the bypass to spin down the turbines. And then once that's out of the way, you could move on to another step if you wanted to. I'm just doing multiple things at once. And then what I'm about to do is open up my MSCV so that all that steam that's sitting inside the steam generator will move on to the condenser via the bypass. I need to open up my OMSI and SIMSI. I guess I don't have to. It just depends on your retention tank. If you want to empty your retention tank, leave them off. So
The reactor core coolant has stopped circulating.
I know. Leave that at 25. Open this up. Oh, it still gave me the alarm. Must be based on temperature. Okay, I guess it still gives you the alarm. Shh. Okay. So now this is going to cool very rapidly with no heat. This guy, I'm actually just going to let him do his thing. We could open this to keep the retention fill tank level up. Actually, I will, because I'm going to demonstrate something. Open that up. Open this up. Get all the heat going back in. We'll switch this to startup mode. And that should be... It might start going up. Well, we're going to stop making steam here in a minute, but... so it will... Actually, I'm just going to turn it off. Yeah, let's just turn it off. Let's do that. So now, so it's going up if you wanted to. If you didn't want it to go up, you would just close these. It just depends on how full you want it. So I'm actually going to close these off. Let's do this. Yeah. And then once those get to 0, you'll see this stops. I'm losing vacuum, but that's fine because I don't need any more. Look, we are bottomed out here. The secondary pump is now just filling this back up to wherever you want it, and it's kind of based on your startup preference. I set mine because I want that fill level to be, I used to set it at 50. I think now I set it at 40,000 liters for my next startup. That's all I'm doing. I could shut off the secondary. Well, let's just do it. If I turn this off, this will go from filling quickly to filling slowly. It will never stop all the way. And that's because steam is condensing into water. Uh-oh. Hang on, I got a cough. Let me mute this. So, as this pressure drops, this will stop moving. Same with this guy. Steam is condensing back into water, which is why we're seeing this here. And this is frozen. Now, if I want to empty this out, I turn this back on, and I open my CRV. It'll start going down. This number we're going to see later is arbitrary, whether it's 1 or 100, doesn't matter. This is something that's broken and needs to be reworked. But that's how you would empty your CRV, but I'm not going to do it right now. Or, I'm sorry, your retention tank, but I'm not going to do it now. And I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it can be closed. Oh, yeah, because it's using it and sending it on. I want to demonstrate something, so I'm going to go triple speed. See if we can't hurry this up a little bit. And you can get this to 0 and stop these numbers instantly by venting off, which I'm going to do here, the steam generator. See a little steam coming out? Neat little animation. The problem with doing that is now, once this gets to 1, this number will stop. The problem with doing that is now all that coolant is just lost. It has exited the closed system, and you're not going to get it back. Yeah, I guess you could refill it with your, what's that thing called? Your condenser pump, freight pump. Okay, we turned it off. Oops, single speed. And notice how this has stopped moving, and this has stopped moving. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's still filling because there's other steam elsewhere. I guess you could vent that elsewhere. But the point I was trying to get to is, or demonstrate, is that this is close to 100, or excuse me, 180. These numbers are off a little bit, but 180,000, which I think is where it started, give or take. This one started at 50,000. So where has the rest of that gone? If this is kind of not even at it's 180, this is at 50, and this won't continue filling forever. Eventually, this is going to kind of stop. But where has it gone? The answer is I don't know. I used to think it was in the retention tank, but I took my retention tank down to like 4% last night, and it still did not make up for it. I don't know where it goes. I have no idea where that water and that steam is sitting. I think it's a something that needs to be tweaked in the calculations of the game, the behind the scenes calculations. Oh yeah, we haven't come back and looked, but notice how I've had 0 cooling going on, and this thing has been cooling just fine. Is it supposed to work that way? I don't know. It's whatever the developer wants. I would assume no, but it is what it is. That's still going up. This is just falling little by little, which is fine. We don't necessarily care. And I guess we could turn this off now. We're below 100. We're not making steam. You'll see this rise just a teeny bit. Or not. See? Now we're safe. We got the green safe light. We can do our stuff there. And yeah, we are shut down. So that's how you do a shutdown. Really not much difference other than you just turn the vacuum pump off. That's kind of it. And then you can mess with these valves if you want to change the level of your retention tank. Sorry, I got a cough again. So now, let's go back to... let's go... hang on, let's load. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to meet demand. So let's load up and let's do, where's my stream? No, stream. Oh, look at that. It did. It did. Sorry. Apparently I still have the same save game problem where when I save a new game, it overwrites another one at random. There's another one in here that should say stable something testing. It's what I was using. I made a new one here last night, and it wrote over that one, and it shouldn't have. That's really annoying. That save game problem is still plaguing me. So, do not like. All right, so this isn't exactly what I wanted, but we're gonna go with it. Man, that's really frustrating. Okay, no chemicals, and we are stable-ish. You'll notice that everything is about the same. Whoop, as it was before. Okay, this is gonna be a little out of whack. I forget why I was doing that. Yeah, I don't know, but everything is basically stable here. I'm going to show how to meet demand down. Okay, so let's say we needed to get down to that 10. Oh, let me check my temperature. Yeah, we should be good. Wonderful. Okay, yeah, chemicals are gone. Okay, so let's say we needed to get down to that 10. Our system really does not like to drop below 5 on the MSCV and 25 on the secondary pump. It throws it for a loop. It throws it out of whack, and the balances get off, and the vacuum pump doesn't like it. The condenser fill levels get messed up. Sorry, I had to stop for a water break. So I don't like using that method of lowering the MSCV below 5, and because I don't lower this below 5, I don't lower this below 5. Here's a note on balancing. We kind of have, if you have chemicals on, it's 4, but we kind of have 3 systems that we're balancing. The first is the reactor core, and that one's sort of the simplest. We just use our rods, and depending on your primary setting, our rods to just balance the temperature of wherever we want it at. Right? We just kind of let it do its thing, and that's one balance. The second is the steam generator. And we balance these numbers. Remember how I said that middle one would bounce up and down? We do that through the MSCV, the flow speed, and that's basically it. That's where we get our thermal balance from. It should start coming down here in a second. Didn't I? Huh. Why aren't you coming back down? Oh, there it goes. That's higher than it usually ping-pongs. But, so that's one balance. This is the third balance here. Is this guy here, the condenser. You want your CFR, your condensate flow rate, and your EFR, extraction flow rate, the left and the right, or the right and the left, to be the same. The guy in the middle, you just want to be 0. Anything more than that, that's from what I can tell, is based on temperature. It means that the water that's already sitting in your condenser waiting to be pumped back to your steam generator is turning to steam. That's bad. You don't want that. So you want it to be 0. The extraction flow rate is directly controlled by the secondary pump. Your return flow, the left number, which is 50, and this left number of 50 are inextricably tied. Well, I shouldn't say that, but watch. If I move this up, it'll go to 60. Speed it up. Wait for it to get there. Okay, now look. 60. See how it went up? So, and that, which makes sense when you think about it conceptually, because the secondary pump pulls water. It's pumping water from the condenser. So this is the rate at which the water is leaving the condenser, and this is the rate at which that water is entering the steam generator. Unless you have a leak in the middle or something, they should be pretty much the same. If they're ever not the same, something's probably going wrong. So keep that in mind. Okay, well, so why do we care? Why does that matter? Why is that important? Well, because of this balance. If the number on the left is higher than the number on the right, your condenser is losing water. See it going down? Because these do not match. If it's the opposite, where your condensate flow rate is higher than your extraction flow, your condenser will be increasing in volume, or the fill level. If they're the same, it'll be frozen. So why does that matter and why do we care? Well, first of all, let's talk about what the CFR is. What is the CFR? The CFR is the rate at which steam turns back into water. Remember at the beginning how I said, hey, the difficulty setting you have, I'm on normal, matters. This is where it comes in from what I understand. Again, I haven't played on easy mode or apprentice for any considerable amount of time. Is this guy here. That this is not instant and it takes time. And our number is changing and it bounces. It doesn't actually usually change that fast. I don't know why it's going that fast. But this number will kind of follow and eventually reach here. But it's very slow in doing so. Very slow. So this number continues to fall forever. Where and people go, well, hey, you need to add. I need to add water. Look how low my steam generator setting is. Look how low my condenser is. I'm losing water. Guys, welcome to physics. Steam doesn't come from nowhere. It's created from water. And they're in a ratio. So the more steam you have, the less water you have. The more water you have, the less steam you have. So yes, as you're boiling off water and creating steam, of course this is going to go down. And of course this is going to go down. Don't chase the colors. If you go flip on the condenser fill level, say, I gotta have this in the green. I gotta have this in the green. Then when you shut down, guess what's gonna happen to all that steam? It turns back into water. Next thing you know, this guy's at 60, this guy's at 360, and you're going, oh man, now I gotta drain everything off. Yeah, all that extra water you added in is now useless, and you just gotta drain it back off again. What did we gain by filling it halfway through? Asterisks. The caveat to that is, I don't know where it goes. I don't know where, because we just saw during our shutdown that the numbers don't match. They don't line up again. So I will give them that credit. However, I don't fill it up and my system works fine. If you wanted your CFR and your EFR to match, see how they're going up, the number's still going up slowly? I believe that it has to do with the retention fill tank level. Watch this. I'm going to lower this number. This, the retention tank percentage. The CFR, the number on the right, is going to jump. And then, no. Or is it drop and then come back down? It'll do one thing and then start doing the other. I forget which it is now. So let's take this to up just 0. No more steam coming into the retention tank. You'll notice it's dropping by a significant amount. My CFR is going to drop, and then it should start shooting back up. Not shooting, but it coming back up. There it goes. So it was at what, 47.1? It dropped down to 45.3, and now it's on its way back up. So I'm going to let that go for a minute. Speed this up. Keep an eye down here. So what's happening conceptually is when this gets to 49... Okay, let's put this back at 30. Watch what happens. Bam! Oh, we went over. Oh man. Are you gonna come back down? Or did I overdo it? Nope, overdid it. But notice now our CFR number is higher than our extraction flow rate. Our CFR is higher than our EFR. So if what I told you is correct, we should see the condenser fill level increasing. Ta-da! Cool, right? Come on, we can do better than this. Okay, let's... Emptying out the retention tank is way easier than filling it back up. So if you overshoot, it's tough. Now, what I'm doing is chasing it. As this goes up, I can put this at 6. As this goes up, this will go down. Again, very slowly. Very slowly. So what I was trying to do was what I think is going on is that somehow, I guess when you lower this, you're adding more water back into the system, and the adding back that water helps it to the condensate flow rate to be more effective, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know. what it's supposed to be is, again, it's the rate at which steam turns back into water. And it's not constant. There's no real direct way to adjust it. So now let's see where we end up. See what it snaps to, if it does at all. I'm hoping it drops down. Okay, so see how it's dropping kind of fast? So we're still over. But you can see how you can kind of manipulate this by changing your fill level. So I would keep it going up a little bit. But that's not very practical. You see how much time it's taking for me to try and get this to match? Well, now let's say that I want my demand to go up, right, to 6, and I bounce this up to 30. Well, this has just gone from 50 to 60. Now I got to do the whole trick again to try and get this this number, the CFR number, to match my extraction flow number. That's a tough ask, guys. That's not easy. Especially to do that every hour as demand changes. Holy smokes. So I think it's broken. I think it needs to be reworked. The calculations need to be reworked. Because otherwise our condenser will never just stay where it should be. And where is all that water coming from? Why is it adding to it? I don't know. I have no idea. It's just gone off into the magic black hole, and now it's coming back. So yeah. All right. So that's a note on that. The CFR and the EFR, your condenser fill levels, not chasing the colors because there's so many other things. Let's get to what I was really going to talk about, which is demand. I went out. That whole thing was a tangent. Hey, here we are. Welcome back. So let's say we wanted to get down to that 10. Quickly recap. I don't want to touch these. I don't want to touch them. They mess with all this going on. So the way that I do this is with bypass. Previously, I would have told you never use bypass, or I don't like to use bypass because just me mentally, I'm like, no, I want to be able to control the plant enough, the reactor enough to where I don't need bypass to get the number I need. Well, now with this guy, I can't do that. So here's what I do. And again, think about this conceptually. We talked about it. As steam is traveling through the main pipe to the turbines, as we open bypass, less of that is going to go to the turbines, which is what makes this megawatts drop, right? Because it reduces our torque. That's desired. That's great. That's what we want. Except that, then that means less steam coming back in here to the retention fill tank. So if you want your retention fill tank to not go up and down, opening bypass doesn't really help you out. Watch. Let's open this to... Where should we start? Let's go with 20. Okay, we'll watch the torque fall. It was 5.05. Notice that it's dropping. Okay, our megawatts are dropping. Cool. Look what's also dropping. So this is where our buddy SimZ comes in. Yes, it's called startup mode steam, the startup mode of steam inlet valve. I get that. We're not doing a startup. I get that. But that's what takes the steam from this bypass, right? Remember how I said I'd like it to draw this kind of line? Rather than just skipping all this, the retention tank altogether and going straight into the condenser, we're using the SimZ to bleed some of that off to try and maintain a balance. What is that number? I have no idea. Good luck. I don't say that to be flippant or cheeky. See how I slipped in that little British terminology there. I just don't know. I have not found a good number that will exactly work. Okay, it's going down, so if I add more, I don't know, let's try 65. It should freeze. If I go triple speed... Okay, now it's going back up, so I went too far. Okay, so now I go back to 60. I can't figure out what it is. For every 5 this, it's number that. It changes. Because obviously we need to keep going down. We lost about 4 megawatts doing 20. So if I go now, let's say, I don't know, maybe 45. Try and get us down to that 10. Well... Now we have even less steam coming through the OMZ, which means this is going to drop again. So now I need to compensate with more of this. So let's take it to, I don't know, how about 85? Is that going to be enough? And this is all to keep our level on the retention tank steady. So we're at about 11. Let's wait till this updates. See if it's less than 10%. It's just taking a minute. It actually probably won't. So maybe we need a 50% bypass. Ooh, yeah. That's maybe it'll go 47. We don't need to do 5s. What? How are we doing over here? Still falling? I think it's still falling. So maybe we need more. Let's go 90. It will. Okay, so now it's going up. it will reach a point where you get to 100 and it's still falling, maybe. Then I would open OMSI. But for now, I just want to leave that alone. I just want to leave that. Okay, so it's going back up, so I don't need that much. Maybe back to 80, because it was going up kind of quickly. See, okay. So maybe that's where it's at. It's something you just have to play around with. And it won't remain the same either. It won't remain constant. As temperatures change and as other stuff changes... Oh, see, we're still a little hot. That's okay. That wasn't enough. Maybe we need to go up to 50. Right, really get it down. Oh, I guess we didn't need that much. Perfect. Turn this guy off. No yellow box. We're still within 10%. Actually, it says we're making a little bit below. Anyway, so you get the idea. That is how I would do demand. Once you get to... Well, you just got to watch the torque. I think the new torque stall level is 2.0. It used to be 2.5. I think it's now 2.0. So the mechanical resistance has been dialed back a little bit. But just keep that in mind as you play with this. Okay? So, oh, we're falling quite a bit. Yeah, because we opened that up some more. So again, it's just balancing these guys now to keep your retention tank wherever you want it. Or maybe you don't because you want these numbers to match. That works too. And that'll be great when you're below, what was that, 20 megawatts is what we were making before. Before we went down to, started reducing this. So... once this starts going up, well, that number's going to chase it again. The one on the right, the CFR, condensate flow rate. So, all right, let's get back to starting position. Drop this down, but go about half. I don't want to shock the system too much. This means we'll go down about half here, maybe? I don't know. It is going down. So now I guess I needed to leave it open. See. Now, here's the other thing, right? The calculations on this don't really make sense. And I'll explain it once I finish getting my bypass shut down. That goes to 0. And I guess that makes sense. Well, so notice how this is at 90 and it's still going up. And then it's going to stop once that gets to 0. So here's the conceptual thing that I struggle with this. Right now, the way that I read this is of the steam going to the turbine and then coming back from the turbine to the condenser, I guess by way of this guy, we are taking 30% of that, although the valve's here, right? The OMSI's here. I don't know. There's missing pipes here or something on a diagram because only 30% should be going from here to the steam injector and into our retention tank. That's what 30 means. And now we should be frozen again at whatever number we are. So, okay. Let's talk about units. When I open my bypass, right now 100 units of steam are going to the turbine. Okay? When I forget the OMSI for a minute. When I open this bypass to say 25, well, now 25 units of steam are being shunted off and back straight to the condenser. They're not going there. Okay, great. So then now including this, my SIMSI, if it's at 100, to me that means 100% of the units that are being taken away are going back to the detention tank, which in this case would be 25. If my bypass is open to 25, I'm taking 100% of those. That's 25 units back. Well, except for here, I've only got 30% of those steam units. That seems like a way higher number. The 25% is making it rise. If I have this at 100, right, and this even at 1, this number is going to go up. But how can that be? 100% of this one unit is causing this to go up, but when it's closed, 30 is not? I think it's the calculations are broken. This goes back to how I think it's not working. It's just reading, oh, bypass open as it's binary, 1 or 0. Bypass open, doesn't matter how much. Okay. Oh, whatever you have this set to, okay, this is higher than X number. Therefore, retention tank go up. It's not actual steam. It's not calculating the steam and moving the percentages around correctly. It's just adding or subtracting from the ether. File system era, welcome. I don't know what time you sent that, chat. I haven't been looking, but you've missed a bunch. Don't worry, it'll all be up online later. My US one from last night is already up there. I have not finished the chapters, but welcome. We're talking about how the game's broken. That's not true. It's not broken. Just some things that I've noticed about the calculations. I hope I'm not boring all of you. But so anyway, so I think that's broken. This number and how it just fills at random. I don't think that's how it should be. Okay, enough on that. Time to meet demand. Up. So the way I would do this, let's say I want 26. We're just going to pretend that my demand right now is 26 megawatts. So here's how I do this. The first thing I do is I increase my primary flow speed. The reason I do that is because it's not linear. The amount of heat that this takes away and sends down to the steam generator is not linear. 30 will not send double the amount of heat from the core as 15 will. Here, I'm going to give you a little, I was about to say pro tip, but we all know I'm not a pro. Imagine somebody went out and was walking the streets and found a guy and said, hey, do you know what an MSCV is? And they said, yeah. They said, great, come on, we need you to do a stream. That's me. Hello, welcome. So this is just a Leonidas tip, not a pro tip. If you, I'm just going to demonstrate it. I open this to 6 because I want more steam out. I open this to 30 because I want it to balance. Notice that it's going to throw this off. This doesn't go up. We're going to triple speed. Okay, look at this making a liar of me. It's not going to reach 60. Oh, it went back down. It's not going to reach 10. This number should be 10 times of whatever your MSCV setting is. Oh, it's even going down. The reason it's going down is because I'm cooling it off because I'm dumping more cold water into a hot steam generator. So this is how I know that I'm not doing enough. I'm not getting enough out of it. What do I need? More heat. Let's take this to like 25. If you're and the bypass is closed. If you open bypass, it will add to this. These numbers are not necessarily inextricably tied. What I mean by that is, this is the amount of steam that is exiting the steam generator right now. This is how open the aperture is for steam to escape. But there's 2 avenues it can escape, this and this. So this number is your bypass plus your MSCV added together. Please keep that in mind. So this is for bypass at 0. Notice that now that I'm adding heat, we're going up. Right? The amount coming out, it should stop at 6. At the same time, notice my megawatts are going out. Cool, right? So if this will get to 6 and it'll stop. If I wanted to inch this up a little bit, there's a couple ways I can do it. One, try it with this. Let's go with maybe 27, a little more heat. Come over here. Do we see any cooling? Nope. We're still at 301. This is still at 5.0. It's just sitting there. And yet we've almost doubled our coolant speed. Remember how I was saying earlier that the primary cooling doesn't actually do any cooling below certain levels? There it is in action. Oh, look, I got 26. Cool. That's fun. One of the problems you sometimes run into, which I didn't, I guess I should have picked a different number. Let's pick 28. Let's go 28. Let's go 28. Let's put that there. And let's get this to 7. I don't even know if we can get it to 7. Let's go 7. Notice how nothing here's changed. 4176, we're good. Simsy, don't even need to open. It's useless because our bypass is closed. Let's see if we can get that to 7. Can we get that to 7? Not even moving. And we've increased our heat. So let's make it hot. Let's heat things up. Now it's slowly getting there. What I was trying to demonstrate is sometimes if you use these guys, you're going to overshoot. And the way to dial it back down is you can use your primary pump to a point. But as you've seen, I kind of need it to be high enough to meet this demand. So your megawatts are going to jump up and down a bit. What I would use then is bypass, unfortunately. You'd have to add in bypass to... I would overshoot the number and then use bypass to dial it. Oh, I desynced. How did I desync? Did you see that? Whoops, open is what I meant. Why are you desynced all of a sudden? Oh. Oh, the city kicked me off. Well, why did you give me a warning? It didn't even give me my, Interesting. Yeah, I didn't have my resistor banks on that whole time. Yeah, and so I'm going over, it kicked me out. Anyway, it doesn't matter, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm surprised it didn't give me the no resistor bank warning. But anyway, my point still stands. That I would use then bypass to dial this back. So, there you go. Keep that in mind, that this is how I do it, is I raise these two, but you're going to have to raise your primary a whole bunch. As you get above about 35, you're going to notice it's going to start a cooling effect on your core. You're also going to need to use the core temperature more to generate more megawatts. So, there you go. That's how I meet demand. Bypass to go down, and then MSCV, flow speed, and primary to go up. If you overshoot it, use bypass to bring it down. You can adjust with the primary a little bit, the primary speed, but that this is kind of the main way of getting your meeting demand, rather than these two, which it was these two previously. If you just left this at 5 and 25, oh, I never increased this. I need to. If you just left this at 5 and 25 and only used your primary, eventually you're going to overpressurize your steam generator and damage it. So keep that in mind. How are we doing over here? Yeah, see, it's the CFR is starting to try and climb back up to meet that. I don't even have enough heat to get all the way to 70. So I'm still missing it a little bit. Question up to this point: what is the most you could try to get out of the reactor? We're going to do this. We're going to do that in just a second. 57 so far is the highest I can get. There's a couple bottlenecks. One is the CFR, and I say it's a bottleneck because eventually your condenser will drain. It'll go to 0. So that's one. The second is this guy right here. Above 350, you'll get steam in your core, and it will, well, we all know that's bad. So this is the biggest bottleneck right now, that you can't raise this temperature up. I've heard people say with more cores, they can get more out of it, but with just starting setup, not upgrading pumps, not buying, selling and buying new pumps, not whatever, about 57, 58 megawatts is the best that I've been able to get. So let's do that now. And we're going to do that now because I'm going to show you how to get a steady vacuum without using the vacuum pump. I tested this 2 nights ago at like 2 a.m. and didn't record any of it or write any of it down, so I don't remember. And then I did it for last night's stream, excuse me, but I don't remember very well. So I'm going to relearn it with you guys right now. My European brothers and sisters, welcome, by the way. All right. So first thing we need is hot. We need it spicy. We need spicy water. So let's go spicy water. And then this guy, I'm going to do it now. I want him up to 50. Oh, wait. No, I want to demonstrate this. Hold on. I'm back at 35. Demo time. I want this to stop. See if I can get this temperature to hold. You're going to do it? You're going to do it? I think so. Okay, that looks pretty stable, yeah? 32, more or less. Fairly stable. Yeah, give or take. Okay, we're going to call that stable-ish. Okay, watch this. I'll go triple speed. No longer stable. See it falling? Now it's actually cooling like it should. Okay, so again, showing that 50, and then above 50, it's kind of you lose the return. There's not you don't get as much out of it as you would want. So this is going to skyrocket. Our pressure is going to skyrocket. We will Why are you falling? Oh, because you're below. Let's actually overshoot you a little bit. I'll bet we can get this to 8 now. Let's put this at 45 so I can raise my level back up a little bit. We're looking for 350. We're going for 350. Golden Aura, hello, welcome. Oh, sorry. Glad I'm streaming. Sorry, I missed your comment from earlier. Glad I've seen this stuff. I've been away for a while, so I need to catch up. Yes, and I have videos, but I wanted to do a live demo, plus give my European brothers and sisters a little love. And if you guys from the US are on, welcome. Okay, that was too much. So let's do 92 maybe. Don't go over 350. Don't go over 350. Too hot. Too hot. Too hot. If any of you are in the Australian time zone, go to bed because it's like 2 a.m. your time. Nope. 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 Come on, it's somewhere in here. One. Come on. I'm in front of all my friends, guys. You guys are my friends, by the way. Okay, we'll dig it. 350. Sweet. Okay, so that's just gonna sit there. Right now, notice we're at 880, or we're at 80 on our MSCV. We're pushing out 46 megawatts. I need this at 100. That's what we're going for. So this is still falling. Why are you? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's go. Let's just go straight for 10. I wonder if it's because the pressure is forcing it out. Is it going up now? No, it's still going down. That's really weird. The problem with increasing this so much above what this should be and taking it out of balance, because right now I'm increasing my return flow rate, is that it's going to. Oh, look, we're already at 100. Oh, I can just demonstrate this before this dies. Okay, now it's going up at a good clip. Okay, it will cool it off is the problem. But not as much as I thought. Temperature. Okay, it's fine. So now that this is at. Oh, what? Okay, there's that cooling effect that I didn't want. Also, like I said, oh, let me clear my throat. Like I said, anything above 50 is a diminishing return. I haven't noticed any. Oh no, we're cooling off. Stop cooling off. You were doing so well. What happened? Stop it. I need that. That's probably why my number was going down. Get back up there. Come on. You were so finicky and upset about. Oh yeah. Oh, see now we okay. All right. Close enough. Let's just hurry and do this. Are we back to 100? No. Let's dial this back. 50. We're just gonna have to sit in the low red for now, because I need this back to 100. Come on. I believe. I believe. When I die, I want this video game to be one of my pallbearers, so that it can let me down one last time. Get it? Okay. Let's try that. I just really want that 350. I don't want to go too much over. Okay. Back at 100? Still no. It has to be at 100. It has to be at 100. It cannot be at anything else. It cannot be. I need 100. This is, by the way, this is the knife's edge. So notice I'm at 56. I think I said 57 was the most I've gotten out of it. Yeah, I can't get much more out of it. Even if I mean, I'm not even meeting the max there. If I go to 11, it's not going to change anything. I just need more heat. And I think it's because this level is so low that I'm not going to get it. That's a massive bummer. All right. Then let's bring that way up. And bring that fill level way up. We're going to crash this. I don't actually know if this is going to work. But I'm going to try it. You're at 350 still. Yeah, bringing this up to like 55 won't do anything to help that. I think it just cools this off more. Yeah, it does. So, but it doesn't add any more heat. Whoa, wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Still nothing. I just really want this number up. Because again, earlier when I was talking about that headroom in there and how it affects the pressures and things, and the pressures affects the heat and all that, blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm going for. So I'm trying to artificially raise this up quickly. And it looks like it's not having much of a cooling effect, which is pretty surprising. Let's do that. Maybe go triple speed. Are you staying solid? No. Anyway, oh, I can drop this back down. That'll help. That'll help increase it. We're gonna go over. Oh yeah, there it goes. Oh, did it stop? Oh yeah, it recovered. Okay. Yeah, okay, I like that a little better. I like that. 18's a good number. Now we're gonna drop this back to 50, which is gonna put it back in balance. Thermal balance. It'll take a minute to get there. But I really need it at 100. 99, as far as I know, won't work. It won't work. Maybe... Okay. Maybe just for demonstration purposes, we go over 350. I really need this at 100. Why are you still going up? Oh. See, now the pump is going slow. Maybe it's when you turn it off. Maybe it's when you set it to 0 that it goes down so slowly. Yeah, I should have lowered that a long time ago. If I know it's going to react this slowly. You're going up? I'd love for you to keep going up. As soon as that hits 100. Okay, I'll just walk you through it and then hopefully be able to demonstrate it. I should be able to get up to 360. Okay, yeah, I'll try it. That might be where we're at. So what's going to happen is as soon as this hits... Yes, we're there. Okay, don't need to talk about it. Let's just do it. I need this at 100, right? Oh, man, I wish I remembered these settings. I think it's 100. This increases. That's going to increase. This I opened to 1. More on that in a second. Should start dropping. It is. Once that gets 100k, then we shut this off. Boom. Off. And that should stay where it is. And this should stop falling. Ah, look at me. Look, it's a balancing trick. We now have a vacuum with no vacuum pump. By the way, are we creating steam over here yet? No, somehow I just did it. So our vacuum level stayed at 99%. Our condenser vacuum is sitting there. This is not going down. The second this drops to 99, I lose it all, just so you know. This has to be open. If you close it, your retention tank fills up by a good amount. It also doesn't matter how much it's open. Okay, so we're at 4225. Let's crank it up to 100 and watch what happens. I've got triple speed. Nothing. Still at 4225. The number here, again, this is another broken thing. This is binary. From what I can tell, it's either 0 or 1, and the number doesn't actually matter. It just needs to stay there, and this is how you maintain a vacuum throughout. Cool, right? Speeding up one loop pumps is helpful, bringing more heat. So, except for I didn't do it. When I cranked this up, I didn't get any more heat out of it. I couldn't get it to boil any faster, unfortunately. So, look, we're in balance now. All these are at 100. And someone was asking, can I push it more out? No, not really. If I go like 11, I think it's just going to sit there. It's not actually going to go up anymore. I've reached kind of my limit. So 56, 57, 58, right around there is kind of the... Why am I at 30, 61? Oh yeah, because we're not... freaked me out for a minute. Our RPMs are higher because we're not connected to the city. Because they got upset at us for no resistor rings. Still at 4225. Sale and pump repair fees now. Yes, that is the purpose. It's just really high. And to try and... So, if you have a demand of less than 56, though, I don't know how to make this work. Because as soon as I start opening bypass, maybe 5. This, I think, is going to drop. See? As soon as I open bypass, it starts breaking the vacuum seal. Even though it makes that go down. Because, oh wait, if I open up the SIMSI, though... Hey, testing time. You guys get to be around. Those American jerks, they didn't get to see this. Sorry for any American jerks that are on watching this. I'm also an American jerk. I wonder if that will compensate. If I open this to 100, would that compensate? Nope. It does not. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So bypass has to be at 0, or else you lose this. Now, okay, so let's say that you didn't catch it in time. It wasn't at 99. Is this balanced? Oh, we're getting there. Let's say that this, see, it's frozen now, but let's say that you needed to bring it up higher. You wanted to just get it back up to whatever. Just flip this on. It'll go. See, and then you can turn it off again. Ta-da. It'll recover it for you. Yeah, open them. So, yeah. There you go. That's how you do it. Now, if we were going to do a shutdown from here, I'm going to demonstrate this, how this doesn't really do much cooling. If I turn this off, my temperature is going to shoot up. Watch this. Not off, but if I lower it. Let's just go to 49 even. This should start going up. Yep, see it rocketing up? For some reason, it's that magic 50 number. It just is. So we're going to cool this off. Normally I'd come over and hit open, but it's already open. We're going to bypass this to 100. We don't care that we're going to lose our vacuum because we're shutting down now. We open this up. Come on, come on, come on. All the way. This is how I would do a shutdown. We'll put this at 25 so I don't overfill my thing there. Oh, primary. Oh, totally forgot the primary. Womp womp. That should have been at 0 a long time ago. Now this should just plummet. Yeah, look at that.
Coolant has stopped circulating.
I know. Are you going to throw alarms at me?
New operating mode established.
No
Shutdown
alarms.
mode.
Okay, so if we're at 350 and we shut off the primaries, you don't care. No alarms. But anyway. Okay. And now we go back to shutdown mode. The only thing is the pressure at this high, there's going to be a lot of condensation going on. So, yeah. And again, if you wanted to vent this off, you do it by... oh, the vacuum pump has to be on, and you would just close all these. But this should be falling, or if we just shut this off, it'll fall too. We don't want that to fill, so we go there. And again, it won't, even if this is open, it won't fill unless you turn the vacuum pump on, and then it kind of takes what's in there and ejects it out. And now it'll drop. Why? I don't know. I don't understand enough about it. But anyway, there you go, guys. Look at that. We landed our airplane. No fireworks. Successful landing. Anything else before we condensate valve? What about it? The CRV? I just left it at 1 because it doesn't really matter at this point. It doesn't, yeah, it's not doing anything. It doesn't, but it's not draining it. If I open this to 100, it doesn't change. The vacuum pump has to be on for this to go down. Or you vent it. I don't know that was intended to be that way, but that's how it works. Yeah, no, look, it condensate return valve not draining. Yeah, I'd have to go vent it. But this can also be at 0. Speed that up. Oh yeah, this I need to shut off. Well, so it stops filling. So that, sorry, sometimes I forget chat is delayed. So even if this is at 0, right, not doing anything, and now I turn it on, now it vents. I mean, the vacuum also goes back up, but so that's the only way to get it to Oh, damn my brain. Wow, well, the nuclear hours might not be the game for you. Might I recommend maybe Mahjong? A nice game of dominoes. Yeah. Anyway, so here you go. There's some intricacies and some interesting things about the reactor, about the cooling and the how the 50 is the magic number. And it's again all this stuff that I have for you guys is just trial and error. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it the best? I don't know. It's just what works for me. But I'm gonna give a last shout out. Come join my Discord, guys. I need. It's kind of a party. It's a slow party. You can post food pictures. What does food look like over in your part of the world, on your continent? Like nobody eats, apparently, because nobody posts food pictures. I live and die by food pictures, and if I could speak solely in GIFs, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, I would. I just don't know how to use them in real life. But yeah, come join my Discord. Links in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the official Nuclear Hours one. I'll keep doing videos. If there's something you want to know, let me know. What I need to fill the core vessel. Oh, okay. Fill the core vessel. This guy right here. Well, do you mean the external core vessel or the internal core vessel? Internal is just your primary pump. It will. I take it back. If you're looking to just add water because you want to fill this one, you would need your feed water pump here. You don't want it full. You want this full. You don't want it full. Don't ever take it over 2480. Those of you who do chemicals, remember you have to drain it first before you add chemicals, because the chemicals are added in liquid form and do increase your overall fill level. If you get this to 25 or 249.9.6, it can cause steam and it will not cool. So also, as a side note, never use this one, never use this one. GA likes to say that they're useful just because he loves to oppose anything that I say, or that anybody says. But this overall and moderation level were never intended to be used to dictate how to run the plant. They're not. You can't even directly control them. They are a measure of a bunch of different systems together, and they'll never be at 100 unless you get this to 100 as one of the things. And if you ever get this to 100, your system will break. So please don't ever use the moderation level or overall. I've never once used them, never once looked at them. And as someone who's got a couple hours in the game, this is my third day on the job, I don't ever use it. So please don't. It'll cause you way more headaches than it'll ever solve. But if you're to fill the internal, if you want more volume here, you use your feed water pump. If you are trying to prime your pumps, like after opening or after installing a new loop, you just turn on the primary pump and it'll fill those up for you. It'll prime them up. But yes, to get more into the actual system, it's this. If you're talking the external, it's this guy right here, the core pool pump. You can load and remove, and it comes from this tank here, the core pool coolant tank. These two are related, and these two are related. And then this feeds into this guy and that guy over there. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Any other, if I'm watching to, I'm absorbing, fair enough. Good thing it'll be, yeah, YouTube saves these and puts them online later. So yeah, I'm gonna let y'all have the rest of your Saturday, unless anybody else has any other questions, anything you want to see. Again, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you all in, again, some other time. I have some new things coming out. I'll tell you what, I did not give this spoiler to those American jerks. I'll give it to you guys. What about chemicals? What proportion of the boric acid? That is personal preference, Casper. I like mine at 2,900 parts per million. I think it's a good number. But remember, they're a liquid control rod. So the more boron you have, the less solid control rods you will have in. You'll have more pulled out, and vice versa. If you like having this number higher, where you want more control rods, then you'll want less over here. But there's also, again, that trade-off between the chemicals you have and kind of your xenon and iodine numbers. At what point do you have to replace the reactor fuel? It's at 64 and having problems producing enough temperature. That's up to you. You can always add more cores. Originally, it was designed to never be removed until it was at 10%. That has been, enough people were upset about it that the developer removed that restriction, so you can remove it at any point now. I have never replaced fuel. I've never had a save go long enough to the point where I needed it to pull it and replace it. It's always been enough for my purposes. Core pool tank is bottomless. Still bottomless? Yes. As far as, yes. That hasn't changed. And that's more of, it's just a dynamic and of the game. They don't have a way to make it more realistic yet. Is it still possible to use only control rods? Yes, unless you have chemicals enabled. If you have the chemicals module enabled and don't use them, you will poison your core, and you'll be forced to, it will shut you down whether you want it to or not. And that process will start about 7 hours from the time that you start pulling rods here. It will control you. And let's see. Any other questions? Anything else? Okay, spoiler. This is a non-nuclear spoiler. I was gonna give it to those American jerks last night, and I didn't, but I will give it to you all. So I have revealed that I work in aviation safety, and I do. I work in aviation safety, but previously was an air traffic controller in the U.S. Not so long ago. I've been promoted out. I work in an office now and stuff. But so there's a game on Steam someone introduced me to called, I think it's like Tower Air Traffic Simulator 3 or something. It was on sale right now here in the US for the Steam sale. I picked it up. If you've ever wanted to watch a professional air traffic controller work airplanes on a simulator, you're going to get your chance. I just haven't, in fact, I will probably do the videos of me learning how to do the game. The airport that I worked at is not available yet, but yeah, so that might be a little fun. There you go, doxing myself a little bit. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. It was fun spending the weekend morning with you. Oh no, it's nighttime for you guys. It's morning for me. Nah, you guys go to bed. Man, you guys are late. Yeah, so and don't tell any of the Americans about my spoiler, okay? Me being an American. But I know I don't steam far nearly enough in your guys' time zone. But yeah, thanks for coming out. I'll see you in the Discord. Come say hi. Oh wait, hang on. I gotta make this look official. Hold on. What music should we do? Let's do, here you go. This is how I closed out with the Americans. I better turn down the sound. This is the YouTube music that they let me use and don't nail me for. Yeah, that's right. Oh, there's a baby sound in it. Anyway, all right guys, it's been fun. Thanks so much. I will absolutely see you again soon.